The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Tuesday, call us.
Victory Tuesday.
Wrong week, Nate. That's next week.
That's next week.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we got to tell y'all a funny story in a minute. Looking live at Tostitos Championship Plaza outside Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, Texas, where, man, it is windy, cloudy, 66 degrees, feels like 55. The high was 73. The low tonight is 50.
He is Nate. This is Kurt. 2 Pump Daniels with 3 pumps will get you a flag. That's Shannon Gross. In the back, it's Chris Beam. Keep it as live and local. I am Salt and Pepper Poppy. Together, we make Hanging with the Boys, the sports talk equivalent of Braille. People feel us when we speak.
Brought to you each and every show by Wingstop, where flavor gets its
Wings!
Yes.
Thank you, Wingstop, again, for the food and the gear, the swag.
888-855-2297.
There we go.
We want to hear from you today.
Hopefully we get to wear those jerseys before the end of the year, because Nate said he wasn't wearing his until we win a game. So
Next week.
next week, okay. We got to tell
Tuesday.
y'all a funny story while we wait on some callers. All day yesterday, Nate was like, "We got an extra show this week."
I don't know why. I don't know why I kept thinking we got an extra day.
Because we got a Monday game next week, so we actually have one less show next week.
Yeah.
But he was thinking that we were getting one added to this week. So after the show and walking down the hall, we finally had to say, Nate, we don't have an extra show.
I was like, unless you plan on coming here Saturday and doing the show.
I don't know, man. I just, I get stuck sometimes,
Yeah.
bro. I like,
And
wow.
you were saying it all day, like, we got an extra show.
You were standing on it.
I'm like, yeah, we got a
Standing on it.
last show.
You know you love your job when you just want to work an extra day.
No, I just was, because I wanted to move. I had already in my mind moved the defense to third. So I couldn't get.
And he's like, I'm avoiding watching all of that defense.
Hey, he didn't lie either. He gave up on film. Look.
Look,
Last week he was
whooped him.
for 3 days he was in his iPad.
whooped
Today he's just like, you know what?
they
Nothing to look at here.
Because I like watching good on good. And I thought our offense would perform a little better than it did. Because they had a good defense. I like good on good. We all do so. And that's what kind of bothered me when I'm like, wow, the more I watch their defense, that's a curse. Ain't that a curse
No, it
sometimes
is.
to like something but understand the integral parts of it? And you're looking like,
He's like, oh, yeah.
wow.
Yeah. And the more you watch it, the more you're like,
yeah.
it's confirming more the things that you think. You're
Yeah.
Like,
Kind of like last night when
like, here's it showing up again.
it's really cool that we're playing the Chiefs on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And when you really watch the Chiefs,
You go,
like, you really want
And
that
they
on
had
Thanksgiving?
they had everybody back for Washington.
Yeah.
They had Scary Terry.
Y'all might want to get y'all turkey eaten earlier. It might not. Your stomach might not be appetizing after.
Oh, it looks like Kansas City's going to eat on Thanksgiving. Let me
Yeah.
tell you that.
There it
real.
is right there, a little bit of the replay. All right, we got one call on the phone. Let's get to it. Who we got, Chris?
We got Randy in Kansas.
Randy, what's up, Randy?
What's up, fellas? Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
Nate, you take me back to the days when this team was good. I love listening to you and your tapes. Appreciate you guys. I just want to ask about what Shoddy said in his press conference about the changes that will be coming. Do we feel like this culture is actually changing and that he is getting us on the right path? What changes does he need to make, in your guys' opinion? I'll hang up and listen. Thank you.
You first on me, Jess.
You go ahead.
Well, I believe change is coming, and it's just ugly. Whenever there's change for the better, that means something was bad. And it started with a great, great player. And that was a good and a bad thing. But it's going to take time. It's going to take more than the 6 months Jesse has put on this man's life.
I did.
So just give it a year or two, Jesse. Yeah.
Yeah, there are changes are coming, and within the defensive, because that's mainly what he was talking about, is after the bye, you get Demarion Overshown back, and then you get Savone Revel. So someone has to come off the field. Two people have to come off the field if those players are going on the field. The biggest hope is that those guys can play, and I don't want to poo-poo a situation that people are looking forward to. But just look around the league, ladies and gentlemen. When guys come back from serious knee injuries that has put them out of football for a very long time, most people don't jump right back into the mix of things and are playing up here. Right. Now, I know the bar has been set extremely low because of what has been put out there. So anything people are saying is better than that, we'll take.
How many games does Overshown have? How many has he played?
Total?
Yeah.
About 12. About 10.
Probably in the last 2 years.
About 10.
And again, we don't know what Revel is. I mean, there's a glimmer of what
17. No, wait.
of what Overshown has shown
13
that you can believe in, but we don't know what Revel will be. I do think because the one last guy that has been untouchable that needs to be touchable in the sense of getting him off the field probably a little bit more is your linebacker, your middle linebacker, Kenneth Murray. And I know he's playing a little bit out of position. He wasn't brought here to be a middle linebacker, but you had the injuries, and maybe when Jack Sanborn comes back, he can move back to the will backer where he can just kind of do more running and tackling than actually having to diagnose and shed blocks and all those things. But, Clowney's probably going to play more. That's been one of the things that they talked about, so you may see him playing more.
Are these big changes, though, in the middle of a season?
It's the best you can do.
Yeah.
It's the best that you can possibly do at this point in time. There isn't much left, especially for that front seven. There isn't much left that you can do.
And the secondary.
Well, I'm just saying as far as, whenever we find out what's wrong with Diggs or what's not wrong with Diggs, he comes back and he's healthy, he's better than what you have out there. He's better than Kyer. He's better than Reddy. He's better than Traquez Bridges. He's better than all those guys. So it's an upgrade.
But don't you have to have the desire?
Yeah, you do.
So the problem with this team right now defensively is you can't tell me most of these guys, and I'm not excluding the secondary, they don't have the experience. You go and look at all these backups that played, they don't have the experience. But from the linebackers on up, all of these guys got more than 250 games.
Snaps,
yeah.
That's a lot of games.
250 snaps. You cannot tell me that they don't know how to line up. You cannot tell me that you don't know how to do run fits. And when you see a lack of effort, a lack of run fit, that's a player. So, nah, man. No, these guys, it's about want to now. It's about want to. You look at the Cardinals film, and I looked at just a little bit of the Cardinals film. They've lost, I think, 3 or 4 or 5 games in a row by, 3-4 points. You look at the film, and I looked at a little bit of Green Bay film of their defense. They coming to the ball. They trying. They making plays here and there. And I don't think the score was high. I think they're giving up 22 points a game. Come on, man. You giving up 35 points a game in everywhere imaginable. The run, the pass. That's a player's problem, man.
Why is it so hard, Kurt, your bullet point number 4, but this organization has had a really hard time evaluating defensive talent in the draft. Done a hell of a job on offense. Offensive linemen hit all the time. You know, they backed into a few things. You know, Dak. They do pretty good.
Yeah, they backed into 20 years worth of quarterback.
Right.
They backed into 20 plus years of quarterback.
But for the most part, they do a pretty good job of evaluating they miss. All teams are going to miss, but they do a pretty good job of evaluating the offensive talent. But when it comes to defensive talent, Kurt, go through the stats because I'll screw the numbers up.
Sorry, I didn't have it.
Sorry, my bad. Yeah. But it seems like they've really struggled, especially the last 10 years, and especially since 2020.
Yeah, they've drafted 26 defensive players since then. Only 11 are still on the team. And if you look at this season, 11 starters a game, 8 games, 88 starts. That group has only had 31 of them. And outside of, Bland and Osa are your regular starters. Just not getting much.
Yeah, so
I think they're the only ones playing over 50% of the snaps, too.
Is defensive talent league-wide harder to evaluate, or is this team just really good at evaluating offensive talent, not so good at evaluating defensive talent?
I think there you have it. I think that's just – and if we took a fine-tooth comb through every team's process, you look at the Baltimore Ravens and you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, they just hit on defensive players. Mm-hmm. They just know how to find them. They have an eye for them. They have a culture for them. They just do. They do, right? Like, they just find them. And some teams are more, like, for example, the Cleveland Browns. They cannot find a quarterback to save their life. They are so bad. Like, think about that. Like, the Cleveland Browns have not been able to figure out and they've drafted high.
And even when they find a quarterback, he goes somewhere else.
You know what I mean? And so, like, some teams just have it. Some teams just I know how to find this. We hang our hat on finding this. And that's just what it is. And the Cowboys, they do a great job finding offensive linemen, and they
But I guess, do scouts have, like, I would assume a scout that grew up playing offensive line is going to scout an offensive lineman better than he would a receiver. Does it work like that, or do you guys have separate strengths that they?
This is number one, is one of your main problems. One of your main and biggest problems is you do not know what you're looking for. You have to know what you want and what you're looking for. Now you can start figuring out how to get it. DQ, Zim, this Eberflus. What are you looking for? What are you looking for?
Because every coach comes with something different.
Yeah, what are you looking for? So if you don't know what you're looking for, how do you know when you find it, how you know? So first of all, you got to hire somebody that, hey, this guy's not going to be fired. Like, for a long time, the Steelers had one defensive coordinator. No matter who the coaches was, it was just one defensive coordinator. For a long time, the Philadelphia Eagles had one no matter who the head coach was, this is our defense coordinator. This is what we run. For a long time, the Cowboys had one guy that did that. When you go to changing coaches, and your talent don't acquiesce as quick as your coaches are, what is Mozzie?
Yeah, he's...
what is Clark now? What is Osa? Osa is a guy that penetrates up the field, reckless abandon. That is not what this guy wants. You got to have a purpose in why you're doing that. Go look at Calais Campbell that plays for this team we're watching. He has a purpose when he shoots up the field. He makes plays when he shoots up the field. What are you looking for? What are you looking for?
Would they have been better served? Because Dak has more or less had the same system going back to, you had Garrett and Kellen Moore. Then, Kellen worked for McCarthy for a year, and then Schottenheimer's been in. He's kind of had this flow where, like you said, it was Rod Marinelli, Mike Nolan, Dan Quinn's,
Even our offensive linemen haven't been as solid as what we was getting. It hasn't been just that boom, no matter where we picked them at, top 5, middle, and the end. But when you just go to changing coaches you are going to have instability in what you're trying to do. The day they stop just changing coaches, changing philosophies, and I'm talking about mainly defensively, then you can start to build on something, you know.
That's not too promising because right now it looks like we have another DC around here pretty soon.
No, do you think Eberflus was ever a long-term answer at DC?
I wouldn't.
I mean, he was always going to be looking for another, wouldn't he? I mean, I don't know.
We hear coach speak. This man, I'm about to pull a Jesse. I'm keeping this real. This man got humiliated in Chicago. They did him dirty the way they fired him, the way they talked about him, the way they did him. They did him dirty. That man had a very clean reputation going up until he got hired by Chicago. Okay, you bring this man here for we the fix-it guy or something? Come here a year, get fixed and leave? I think they hired this man to try to start something. And it hasn't worked because the players that you had, that you thought you were going to have, are gone. You thought you would have the kid that's in Green Bay, and you thought you would have two healthy corners that wanted to play football. And you have neither but one corner left that want to play football for the Dallas Cowboys.
You think
you don't even have a basis.
You think he's sitting back going, I'd have just passed this year. I'd have just waited a year if I'd known all this stuff was going to happen. I'd have just been like, you know what? I will go to the barn, go ask Mike if I can get the keys to the barn, go watch some film for a year and see what's open next year. I mean, nobody would have walked into this knowing you're getting rid of your star generational quote-unquote pass rusher, your Pro Bowl cornerback. Like, I don't think anybody would have walked in here in their right mind knowing that.
Fellas, just think now. We started 4 guys in our secondary that would not even be on most teams' 2 deep roster. I think Bell would be there. And if he's not careful, when they go to cleaning house, they may get him too. Because sometimes when you play around that type of stuff, it gets you too. So he got to stay above the fry, or the fray, or whatever words you use there.
Both.
Yeah.
The fire and the fray.
When I look at this Dallas team, and I laugh because we sit up and we try to make guys bigger than what they are because of this star. Look at your 2 corners. Can you name them? I past 2 corners, can you really just call their names and what they have done? I mean, I don't even, when they told me who was starting, I'm like, oh, okay. And I had to do a little quick check on my phone. Okay, da-da-da-da. You ain't got to tell me who Buda Baker is. You ain't got to tell me who he is, huh? Think about it. You had to tell me who Patrick Surtain was. We tried to get him 2 or 3 times, yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying, what impact player we have on defense in our secondary that you can say, yeah.
Bland's closest you got, probably.
That's about it.
And
he has no help.
Right. All right, let's take our first break. When we come back, we got somebody on the phone. When we come back on Hangin' with the Boys.
Back to Hangin' with the Boys.
Cowboys fans, SeatGeek is the only primary ticketing partner of America's team and here to help you experience all the action this season. SeatGeek makes it easy to find the perfect seats to the perfect game, so you can be part of all the touchdown celebrations and momentum-shifting takeaways this season. Whether you're getting tickets to Cowboys games or to any other live event in DFW, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. SeatGeek.
How about them Cowboys? Or how about them Tyson Cowboys Nuggets? As we cheer for the stars on the field, we love that we've also got some stars on our plate, thanks to Tyson brand star-shaped Cowboys Nuggets. That, along with all our other favorite Tyson Foods products, sure make game day special. Score some delicious Tyson Cowboys Nuggets and become a game day star, just like our Cowboys. As you enjoy your stars on and off the plate, remember, tailgates and game day have always been Tyson.
You know you want those Wingstop boneless wings. With the boneless meal deal from Wingstop, you get 20 boneless wings in 4 delicious flavors and a large order of fries for just $16.99. What are you waiting for? More wings, more flavor, more bang for your buck. The $16.99 boneless meal deal from Wingstop. Order now from wingstop.com. Valid at participating locations for a limited time on orders for pickup or delivery placed via wingstop.com or the Wingstop app. Prices may vary by location. See wingstop.com/offers for full details.
Crown Royal and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back the Royal Rig for Season 2. See it in action at AT&T Stadium on Thanksgiving Day, where the Dallas Cowboys take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and around Dallas on November 26th and November 28th. Visit crownroyal.com to see where else the Royal Rig is stopping this NFL season. That's crownroyal.com. Please drink responsibly.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the second segment of Hanging with the Boys, brought to you each and every show by blockchain.com.
Blockchain.
Thank you, blockchain.com. All right, got a couple more calls. Chris, who we got?
We got Chris in Maryland.
Chris in Maryland, what's up?
Bring it, Chris.
Thanks for taking my call, man. Shout out to Nate and Jesse for always keeping it 100. I want to say, if it wasn't for Dak Prescott, like, this team would be just god awful what it is now. I think that people have been giving the offensive line too much credit. Even when Tyler Guyton blocked Micah Parsons in training camp a couple of years ago, Nate was the only person who was like, just pump your brakes on this kid, like, just relax. Everybody wanted to crown him. And we see where it went today. Terrence Steele, everybody, got a second contract. Well, of course, you look real good when you're playing next to the best guard in football. When he leaves, he gets hurt. Now, to be honest, I think Nate Thomas needs to start taking reps. I think people are looking at these 2 draft picks, these 2 first-round picks, all incorrectly. It's really tied to Dak Prescott and how much more time he has left. Right, I think he's got 3 to 4 years left until that money runs out, till it's no longer guaranteed. So you need to maximize that window of time, because right now we have nothing. I don't know why Sam Williams keeps stunting inside. He's losing his gap integrity like he's Tank Williams. It's like, you're not smart enough to make those decisions yet. If Kenny Clark was here to stop the run, brought here to stop the run, he's gotten progressively worse. It's just like day one install stuff that we learn in high school and college that this NFL football team cannot do. And I think it's indicative of the GM and bringing in players that are that don't have the ability or not smart enough to run just basic schemes. Thanks for taking the call.
Now, what was this gentleman's name?
Chris. He was either at work.
Well, Chris, you were cryptic there, Rob. He kind of scared me. I'm like, is this a Halloween guy coming out of?
Either his kids was asleep in the room or he was at work.
Well, he was bringing it, though.
He was.
He was bringing it. He knew what he wanted to say.
He did.
I agree with him, though, on those picks in the window here. I mean, you going to wait another 2-3 years while guys develop and Dak's window closes, or are you going to go get somebody now that you know can play?
You know what?
But you need so many.
I know.
That's the problem. Is not.
You're not doing it for now.
You're saying for
you're
the
doing
future.
it for next year.
Somebody that's got 1 or 2 years left on the contract.
Well, you need a younger guy who's you've got him for a little bit. You can't just get a rental. Or whatever.
And then I add to what he's saying, that can flat out play.
Yeah. You don't waste.
Yeah,
throw away
that can flat out play.
Okay, so let's just say this. Because we're giving up these assets, right? Mm-hmm. What is the cost of assets? Because if we're talking about a certain player on the West Coast and potentially trying to bring him in, you're going to need more than just that first. They know the value. and they've already said no.
But do you know he can play?
Yeah.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah, we know that.
Play now.
Is it worth it then? Because otherwise, you're taking a chance on a kid that you hope will be ready in a couple years at a defensive side of the ball that you've had trouble.
We've tried.
Drafting.
We've tried. I was going to say we've tried the draft route.
Yeah.
That hasn't worked so good on defense. Why not go get a surefire thing that costs you a little bit more than what you?
It's just
probably
insane that we have just made this
to come back to where we were.
We just like we're in a like, and this is why
you're not French. I'm not with them. Because I want a whole different type of player.
Like, but we're talking about getting back to a place that we already were 90 days ago. When the question should have been, how can we add to what we already had? The energy should have been, let's keep him.
Yeah.
Find a way to go trade for Kenny Clark. Find a way to go trade for another interior player, like your energy, and that's been the problem.
Yeah.
The problem is that if you go and get said player, are you willing to go put the other pieces around it? Because I was getting ready to say something. You can't keep these guys here with that. Because guess what? That's insanity. You're doing the same thing you just got finished doing.
Right.
So if you're going to go get this guy, you have to take a entirely different approach than you did for the last 20 years. Because this guy will be replacing the guy that you just traded away. And with that guy, what was the problem they had with him? He was really good at one thing, but didn't have the other pieces around him.
He didn't want to, because he was good enough to do it. He just didn't want
Right, to complete the mission. So if you're going to trade for that player that we're talking about, or someone like him, then also be ready either in the trade deadline or in the offseason to not go bargain bin shopping, to not just rely on draft picks, but to go and spend the necessary capital seriously on the day one high-end level dudes. Because if not, we're just replacing names now. That's all we're doing.
Yeah, but I wish they would do that, because aren't we just replacing names with another draft pick that's maybe a 31st overall draft pick that's maybe going to work out in a couple years?
I'm with you. And that I've always fought the fight of the way that you build this team the proper way is going out in free agency and getting those guys. Getting those guys who can play the game of football, right?
Stay in the conversation, Kurt. You got impassioned.
But because we're doing because all we're doing is replacing names. The system ain't changed, and I mean the overall system ain't changed. Yeah. If I take this name and send them to Green Bay and then bring this name in and do the same thing I did with the name that we sent to Green Bay, guess what we'll get, Kurt?
I know.
We'll be in the same place next year.
Yeah.
And we'll be saying it's the coach, it's the king, it's the scheme, it's the no.
Meanwhile, your offense window closes.
Your offensive window closes.
And then you're starting back over on offense, and then both sides are in disarray.
So that's the biggest thing, man. It's go ahead.
Goddamn. Kurt, you're correct. Jesse, you're correct. Go get that guy. And if we had to give up a pick, we give up a pick. Mm-hmm. But the next 12 picks got to be all defense. And 2 of them got to be for run stoppers. Run stoppers only.
In case the first one don't work.
We signed the contract. Bro, if you get 1 sack and miss 1 run fit, you out of here.
Yeah. No, but you have to be willing to go get the other pieces.
Yes, you do.
That's part of that's part of the problem right now. Is that what you're watching on Sundays is an extreme lack of depth of good players. And to use your term, Nate, is to have plus players.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have elite across the board, but I do need an elite. But then I need to go and get plus players. And the next thing that I'm about to say is so critically important. Who love the game of football. We get too many players in here who don't love the game. Who do not love the game. And that's the part that frustrates me as a former player, someone who had to fight, scrap, claw to make his way and to stay afloat, is when I see guys get an opportunity or have the blessing and the privilege to play in this league, and then I watch them on, like, I take it very slightly personal when I hear we don't understand the scheme. Wait a second. Like I know that every player's skill set doesn't fit, but when you're starting to tell me, and this is what Shadi said in his press conference, when you're talking about like eye candy gets you, misdirection gets you, you know why this team doesn't communicate, Kurt Daniels?
No, well, tell me.
Because you don't communicate when you don't know. When you know, you communicate.
You can tell everybody.
Right?
You're not gonna holler out the wrong call, right?
When your boy knows the answer, you can't keep him in his seat.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you remember we back in grade school, and you'd be like, all right, who knows the answer? 2 + 2. Me. They don't communicate because they don't know. And the reason that they don't know is they don't put the time in. They don't put the time in. Like, I think back to players like Sean Lee. I was a teammate of Sean Lee. While Sean Lee body failed him, his mind did. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you know why Sean Lee was such a great communicator? When you watch these other teams, why there's such great communication going on?
Oh, he knew the play.
Because people know what the hell they're doing. You just, I don't care what it is. Pick a profession. If you're in any profession and the conversation comes up about stuff that you know, you ain't shutting up. You ain't shutting up. Let me tell you about because you know it.
Yeah, it's like that Denver linebacker doing that.
But you watch because you mean to tell me that like when I watch Fred Warner, when I watch Nick Bolton, when I watch these other linebackers in this league, I'm just like, you mean to tell me what do they know that we don't know?
All right, so question for you, because I remember when Sean Lee was here, and if you have one guy like him that knows everything, that makes your whole defense better because he can be like, this is coming, this is where you need to be. And when
he kept them alert.
Remember when he would go out and they would look like they didn't know what the hell was going on? Is that kind of where we're at now? You have nobody that knows what the other team's doing?
Let me tell you how simple it was. They had a tackle, and they had a tight end or a big wide receiver, and they had another wide receiver, and they had moved like 2 yards from that tackle. Defensive end is standing right there. Somebody walked up. They didn't say crack.
Yeah.
All I had to say was crack because
hey, watch crack.
Because that lets your defensive end know to either turn your back to him fully or hit that gap smoking.
Yeah.
You know, or either go back
like
out.
Go out and to him as you go up the field.
Yeah.
But nobody said anything.
Said anything. And all of a sudden we got a 40-yard touchdown.
That started by stealing edge.
Yeah. And I just said to myself,
but I've been around this game, man, far too long. I've talked to so many people. The reason that they don't communicate, it ain't because the scheme is difficult. It's cover 3, guys. It's man to man. What the hell? You've been running with cover 3, been in the game of football since Charlie Choo Choo Justice and whoever the hell was back there with leather helmets.
I tell you what, man, my coach told me.
You got I don't mean to cut you, but keys are keys.
Right.
What's your key? Not those keys. Oh. But if you a linebacker, these are my keys. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. But they don't communicate because I'm not in the locker room per se, or I should say in the meeting room per se, but I watch a lot of football, man. And I watch good teams, and I watch how they communicate. That's because people know what they're talking about. That's because people know what's going on. They sat there and they watched the film. Past the hours that are required. Past that. And they don't just do a little hour on your iPad. No, they make this about their life. This becomes their livelihood. Guys ain't leaving out of here and all of a sudden going home and kicking their feet up, playing a game, running the streets, whatever. Man, for 6 months, this is it. This is it.
The first thing you're taught, defensive tackle, 3 techniques, especially if you're a tight eye. If that guy blocks down, step down, look inside. Next place you look, outside, because it could be whamming you if you're a great tackle. Next thing, if he's trying to reach you, go out with him, read him, but look back inside, because something could be happening there where they're coming back inside with a wham. So look back inside. I learned that like in the 7th grade.
You know, changed, dog.
You know how Sam Williams got cracked in there? Like when they watched the Carolina film and they saw Sam Williams get cracked, they said, "Oh, he ain't even paying attention. Let's try it again."
Like he's smiley facing.
How yeah. Like how is it's a copycat league. They just go, he ain't, come on, dog. What when the receiver is in tight, you should all be yelling. Yeah. Crack. It's what they do.
And not house, just crack.
Yeah. Just, and that's the part that I'm talking about, man. It's too many guys on this team who don't love the game of football, who aren't studying the game of football, and that's why the communication isn't there, and that's why so many guys don't know what the hell they're doing, because everybody's quiet, because everybody's unsure of what the actual assignment is, because nobody's putting in that extra time, and that's losing mentality, and that's why you're sitting where you're sitting. You know why? You know why the offense is doing so damn well? Because when Dak walks up to the line of scrimmage, he's like, "Oh no, hey, check, kill, hey," because he knows what he's looking at. Yeah. He knows what he's looking at. He's studying the work. He's putting in the time, and those other guys are able to adjust to it because he's like the captain of the offense is like, "Yo, hey, look, check that up there. Hey, watch this right here. Hey, he's coming. He's dropped that." He's communicating that because he knows it. And that's what you do when you know. But when you don't, you just shut up. You hope that someone else says something to confirm what you was kind of thinking, maybe thought about, maybe knew. I'm like, man, I hope he said, then you know, ball snap. Yeah. And now y'all like, yeah, oh, man, I thought no, but y'all standing 10 feet from each other. Somebody say something.
All right, let's take our last break. When we come back, one more phone call. And maybe we have time for other stuff on Hanging with the Boys.
You know you want those Wingstop boneless wings. With the boneless meal deal from Wingstop, you get 20 boneless wings in 4 delicious flavors and a large order of fries for just $16.99. What are you waiting for? More wings, more flavor, more bang for your buck. The $16.99 boneless meal deal from Wingstop. Order now from wingstop.com. Valid at participating locations for a limited time on orders for pickup or delivery placed via wingstop.com or the Wingstop app. Prices may vary by location. See wingstop.com/offers for full details.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys today to get started and learn more. That's blockchain.com/Cowboys.
Crown Royal and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back the Royal Rig for Season 2. See it in action at AT&T Stadium on Thanksgiving Day, where the Dallas Cowboys take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and around Dallas on November 26th and November 28th. Visit crownroyal.com to see where else the Royal Rig is stopping this NFL season. That's crownroyal.com. Please drink responsibly.
Cowboys fans, SeatGeek is the only primary ticketing partner of America's team and here to help you experience all the action this season. SeatGeek makes it easy to find the perfect seats to the perfect game, so you can be part of all the touchdown celebrations and momentum-shifting takeaways this season. Whether you're getting tickets to Cowboys games or to any other live event in DFW, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. SeatGeek.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to Hanging with the Boys. We're spitting the truth today. Third segment brought to you each and every show by 7-Eleven, where there's a $5,000 winner every single day. Shop with 7 rewards and play the in-app game for a chance to win $5,000 in cash. New daily cash winners only at 7-Eleven. Are you next? No purchase necessary. Ends 1/6/2026. U.S. and D.C. Ages 16 and over. For full official rules and free gameplay, go to 5k-day.com/rules. Good stuff, Jesse and Nate. Kurt, you too.
See, I just think when you know who you are, Scary Terry, Debo, and what's my man? He used to play here.
Noah Brown.
Noah Brown. You our quarterback. Is you? Which one are you though? You Mariota or are you? Are you
Jaden Daniels?
Probably the skinny one. Number 5.
Hey, but it's just great. Hey man, give me some love. Great stuff, man. Lord's willing, bro.
Chris, let us take one more call. See if we have time for 2. Who we got?
All right, we got Josh in Maryland. Okay.
Josh in Maryland. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Hey, I ain't whispering like Chris was, y'all. I'm from Maryland, but I ain't whispering like that. Hey, and Shannon and Kurt, y'all keep it 100 too, man. Y'all welcome to the cookout too, man.
Thank you.
Y'all keep it 100 all the time too, man.
Jane Dan and Noah
Hey,
Brown.
real quick, I ain't got no complaints, man. You are what your record says you are. You know what I mean? I just called to say what's up. Check on y'all minis and dentals. And I got one little simple question. Jerry said earlier on, 105.3 The Fan?
Yep.
He was like, he spoke, and y'all been talking about the linebackers a lot today, but he spoke on the linebackers earlier today. So, and they kind of, I ain't really think, it was a shot at the linebackers, but, y'all be with Jerry more, so correct me. Well, I don't be with Jerry at all, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is that a shot at Eberflus? Because he is, specialty is linebacker. And they've been doing a lot of protecting at Eberflus, but this is the first time I heard, Jerry don't really call out certain position groups. And with him calling them out, is that a shot at Eberflus? Finally, like, all right, we might have to make some type of change there. But that's pretty much it. Appreciate y'all taking my call, fellas.
Hey, good one, man.
Thank you.
And let me ask you this right quick, like to add on to what he's saying. If we were to get another offensive coordinator in here, will he have enough respect from this staff?
Defensive coordinator.
Defensive coordinator. If we, to say, hey, these are the type players we want. Is it going to be a long-term hire or a short-term? What's your feelings on that?
I mean,
if it's a short-time hire.
The short-term hire, a lot of times, that's usually for a head coach type situation. I think when you get a coordinator, you expect him to be here for a while. You expect to be able, because it is important that Will McClay and his staff get the players, because that's how it happens, right? Like, you bring a DC in here, and the DC sits down with Will McClay, and he figures out, all right, what is your system, right? Your system is 3-4, 4-3. Whoop, 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 whoop. Here's what we already have here that we are planning on keeping here, right? So let me tell you that part,
right?
And then now, how can we further get what you need for your system? Certain defensive coordinators, they have requirements. The most infamous one that we talk about the most was Rod Marinelli had a certain type of player that he looked for, and he said, TJ Watt doesn't fit my aesthetics of what I look for in a defensive end. Taco Charlton did. So he said he told him no to him and yes to him because of his measurements. TJ Watt didn't put his hand in the dirt. Taco did. So those are the requirements that he had. Now, did he miss out on a player? Absolutely he did. But so everyone comes in with that level of what they want. And then now, once you give that to Will McClay, he then now gives it to his staff, and they go find me these dudes with these traits, right? Go find me, if you're going to run a cover 3, anytime you're looking to run a zone-type coverage, you're going to look for more of the longer, rangier players. Hence why you go and you get a guy like Savone Revel, taller type corner, bigger corner, can cover more ground, right? The throwing angles become a lot more difficult. Now, when you're throwing through these windows, think about a 2-3 zone in basketball. Think about old school Jim Boeheim and how he ran his 2-3 zone. He had 6'7" jokers out there in the wings, and they spread their arms out like this, no passing lanes, right? Same thing applies with football when you're trying to run a zone. You want to have guys who can cover a certain space. So all that information is given to Will. Will then deploys it out to his staff, and then now they go scour the earth to try to find guys who fit the mold of what that defensive coordinator wants. See what I'm saying? And then to answer the caller's question, I don't think it was a shot at Eberflus, so to speak. I think it was more of a finally they're starting to say and see what we've been seeing for the last couple of weeks. And also, he's just priming. Jerry's just priming to let you know we're getting a linebacker back.
His quote was, "We need to basically have better play from the linebackers, maintaining the integrity of our gaps, which the linebackers have to fill. The linebackers have to slide."
Yeah,
we did a poor job.
So that's Jerry sitting in on the meeting or reading the notes that they sent out there to him and said, "Here, say this about what happened with the linebackers." But also probably let you know that we get linebacker play coming in with Overshown. But I've been saying it for weeks. Kenneth Murray is a bad linebacker. He's a busy, bad linebacker. Shamar James is just young. He's trying to figure it out. And part of the reason why you have bad linebacker play is because your defensive line ain't good. And when your defensive line ain't good, the one play that everybody's been showing on TV, where Shamar James gets knocked down and then he goes and get Elijah Clark, then he turns back, the guard turns back and then he gets Clowney. Well, watch how the guards come off the ball. No resistance. They just come right up and get right to the backer. I mean, nobody slowed them down, nothing. They just shot right up there. And there's nothing up front that's stopping these guys from getting to the second level. And you see then Shamar gets knocked down and then playing patty cake 15 yards down the field. And Harvey goes in untouched for a 40-yard run. So, yes, you have bad linebacker play because they aren't fitting in the right gaps. Part of that is because they just aren't doing it. You know what gap you're supposed to be in. You ain't just get to planet Earth yesterday. You ain't just pick up football yesterday. And then your defensive front is not good. So you're not keeping guards and centers and other guys off your linebackers because they don't shed blocks really good. Hence why you're struggling defensively.
I know we got to go. One question for each of you, and then maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow since we're starting the draft show today. Would you be opposed to locking up Pickens, locking up Williams, trading some of your draft collateral for a war daddy on the edge, and then spending, like you said, every single draft pick on the defensive side of the ball and go for it and be like, you want to go all in? Here's my chips for the next, we got a 2-year window.
It ain't going to work, though. It just ain't going to work. It just ain't going to work. They ain't going to do it, bro.
Jesse and Nate took their heads.
Like I told you, I was joking because that ain't going to work.
That sounds too much like right.
Yeah. They ain't going to do
all
that.
All right, Jesse, Nate, Kurt, good stuff today. We will be back tomorrow.
Boy, this boy playing that camera. Boy.
Extra day tomorrow. Bonus day tomorrow. What are we doing tomorrow? Cowboys offense?
Cowboys defense, right? I mean, Cowboys offense.
Cowboys offense, Arizona defense. Chris, thanks for keeping us on the air. Josh, thanks for keeping them company. We'll be back tomorrow. Hanging with the boys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?